Welcome, everybody, to Unpopular Review. This is the WWE Monday Night Raw review show for March 4th, 2024. On the other side, we're going to talk about Cody threatening The Rock. Will Seth Rollins be his tag team partner, or will he just concentrate on Drew McIntyre? Liv Morgan, heel turn, going into business for herself. Plus, we finally figure out what Gunther's road to WrestleMania is going to look like. All this plus the evilest one of them all, Evil Dose, on the other side of the intro. You're watching Unpopular Review. Let's talk about some Monday Night Raw. That's right, everybody. You're watching Unpopular Review. The executive consultant is on assignment this week, so I'm filling in. I'm Big Daddy Cool, and joined tonight and every Monday night, the evilest of them all, Evil Dose.
What's up, everyone? First of all, thanks to my partner over there, Esteban, Gully Full of Rocks, who decided to come in last moment and tag and make this not a solo show. And now he's going into business for himself and taking it over, doing that great tease at the beginning and then producing and getting all the graphics up on time. And it's just so exciting. So, yeah, I mean, we're on the heels of Revolution. Sting retired. Vince McMahon sold a bunch of stock. We ain't going to talk about any of that stuff because this is the Raw review show. We have other shows to talk about those things. Maybe not. I don't really know. So.
Well, maybe we'll get to it, and we'll get to all the comments and questions that the chat decides to throw in, but let's get to it.
Ooh. We might have a special guest who was live at Raw, so we might have our special man-on-the-ground correspondent. I don't want to promise it, but I sort of just did, but it may be a promise that can't be kept.
Ooh, I know who was there tonight, but I can't wait. Maybe we'll see them live from the last row.
14,866 screaming fans sold out. Listen, I'm really happy for AEW that they finally had a legitimate sellout. I really, really am. But the way they're preening and flocking about over selling 16,800 tickets for a main event for Sting's retirement match in Greensboro, the heart of Crockett Promotions, when Raw and SmackDown do basically the same thing week in, week out for weeks, and they purposely don't open a bunch of seats that are behind the WrestleMania sign during this time of year. I mean, it's just weak sauce. I mean, good for y'all for doing it. But even Tony was confused during the scrum, saying this might be one of our largest domestic gates. After Grand Slam, it's certainly all in internationally. He forgot about their first goddamn show in Washington, D.C., where they had about 19,000. That's right, Tony. I am an AEW true fan and historian.
Yes, you are. But here we are talking about WWE, the road to WrestleMania, and Monday Night Raw.
Vinny? Where are you, Vinny?
He's not here.
I want to talk about the wrong promotion.
He's getting busy.
Nice. All right. Well, you're excused.
Very good. All right, Jeff, let's take it away. What was the first segment on tonight's Monday Night Raw?
All right. Well, we emanate from San Antonio, Texas. We see Jey Uso arriving and Nia Jax arriving at 2:30 Central Time, which is 1:30 to the rest of us in the civilized part of the world. And Raw opens up, cold. It opened up with a Cody promo. I have really enjoyed, and as the executive consultant, Raw opening up with matches. But back to the old formula. So Cody comes in. He's dressed in a suit, so he's not ready to fight. He is welcomed by Cody chants. Basically, he points out that he's been distracted by The Rock. The Rock did not accept his one-on-one challenge. And then you get sort of, we want Rocky, but then we want Cody dueling chants. And then he does the unforgivable, and he invites Seth Rollins to join him. And the man with the yellow hat, a giant banana, or a minion from Despicable Me shows up dancing.
Seth Rollins saved this segment. Cody Rhodes was boring everybody with his "woe is me" and keep your keep your keep my dog's name out of your mouth rock
I know, Jesus
nonsense.
Christ. And listen, what about show continuity? Gable is telling the same story, except with humans.
That's right. Gable was a treat tonight, I will say, and we'll talk about that and Gunther in a couple segments. But I don't know about you, Jeff, but this Cody Rhodes promo left a lot to be desired. I think Seth really picked it up a little bit when he was talking about The Rock. I'm not a big fan of his nickname for The Rock now, Diarrhea Dwayne. That was a little
So mature.
Juvenile.
Yeah.
But San Antonio seemed to love it. They started chanting Diarrhea Cha-Cha-Cha.
Sure. I saw they panned the crowd, and I'm pretty sure that was Mr. Stone's twin boys there chanting loudly in the front. Yeah, kids love that. And he said poo. And listen, there was a lot of locker room banter tonight. It seems like maybe they had been breaking out San Antonio's famous mezcal sake, which is not a real thing. But I think there might have been a bunch of drunk people at work this evening, especially on commentary. But I agree that Cody was boring as fuck. I disagree that Seth picked it up a little bit. He just added to the boringness. But he doesn't want out of anything. He has Cody's back, and for whatever reason, he believes that taking out the bloodline is bigger than defending his title, which is, I've said before on the show, is ridiculous. That's exactly the opposite of what he said a year ago.
Well, he didn't really say all that. Seth said he's got Drew McIntyre, it's no concern of him to take on Drew McIntyre, and he said that he can focus on two things at the same time. So
yeah. He can, well, I guess maybe he needs to, and that's why he wears those outfits that are all unicolor, so he doesn't have to worry about matching. So, I mean, I guess there's that. And he basically said that his story, and then he takes it all the way back to the Shield, that they were trying to defend the people, and he was trying to bring, and he was trying to bring everything back to the people, but Roman, he wanted to take everything for himself.
Oh, hello.
Oh my God, hello. We have a celebrity, La Sicaria, indie wrestling legend, the queen of Lucha Libre in Sudamericana. It's herself. Wow.
That's
great.
Right. Welcome.
That's indeed right. Thank you. Oh, there you go. All right, we're operating on full cylinders, not you and I. So, yeah, and basically, apparently, The Rock has threatened to eliminate Seth's title entirely, the World Heavyweight Championship, just by snapping his fingers, exercising his power. I have to be honest, I don't remember hearing The Rock say that, but maybe he said it in his 16-minute edited to 21-minute promo that went on social media. That I don't have that kind of attention span.
Yeah, no, he absolutely threatened to take away Seth Rollins' title. Seth better watch out, because The Rock, he's capable of doing all that.
He sure is. Well, yeah. So anyway, so we have Diarrhea Dwayne, and that was just terrific. And he did announce that he is medically cleared, and he will back Cody at SmackDown, because Cody is going to go to SmackDown to confront The Rock and address whether or not he will accept The Rock's counteroffer challenge of a tag team match at WrestleMania. And I got to say, Seth was saying, I got your back a lot, and it made me think of you, who keeps saying that Seth is going to stab him in the back, hit him with the chair in the back, and I started thinking about the two-man power trip, and you could have, both people, sort of a pseudo shield line, or shield wall, as the Vikings say it, but he came later. And you have both titles in one camp, and they've got, sort of redo the two-man power trip, except with Seth and Roman. And control both shows, and I've got this in giant brackets and big question marks, but I don't know. I think that's just too much Steve O'Con.
Cody made the cardinal sin tonight of making it all about himself. Talk about his dog, how dare he talk about the Roman Empire, the Samoan dynasty, that big tree, the family tree. He called it a PowerPoint presentation. How dare he insult The Rock's family, Roman's family? And the one question that Cody Rhodes should really be asking is, Seth, what story is it that you're finishing? Because Seth has never really beat Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody Rhodes needs comeuppance. And Seth is going to give it to him.
And listen, if I'm Cody, I would be asking for one of those Ancestry and Me and 23andMe DNA tests for Seth, because we both know Seth was adopted, and we know that he's Armenian, but he might be Armenian through Samoan descent. So, and you know that his great grandfather could have been a blood brother of The Rock's grandfather, and you know that the family is sort of a loose term in the Samoan dynasty, which is okay. Listen, that's how you create dynasties, by making marriages by alliance and bondsmen and things like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I like the intrigue there. I like the intrigue that I put out that it might be Braun Breaker coming in and spearing him. You know, he put the finger up, and Heyman's been, sort of making happy noises and faces at Braun Breaker, and he's going to need a new, client pretty soon. But I don't know, a lot of fun stuff, lots of fun things to think about. But for now, we know what we know, and that's that Cody and Seth will be confronting the entire bloodline at SmackDown, because they're totally not going to get a chance to see them before that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anthony Shabbat, if you're watching, why are you angry facing? Just because Chris isn't here? Come on now, buddy. You know better. Stop with that.
Seriously, I mean,
angry facing the show.
Come on. Well, I can't. What? We're not good enough to stalk? Come on.
That's right. We're working. We're working.
That's right. So then we hear that the Dominic is going to, his challenge is met. He's going to face Gunther. And in that time, we hear Cole congratulate Sting on his retirement, and Pat McAfee says in an incredible match. And I'm sure at that point, Vince came up from the grave, and Kevin Dunn, and everyone came back from wherever they are and yelled in his ear through their secret, commentary back phone. Shut up, too much.
Yeah. I like that they told you that Sting had his final match, but didn't tell you where. So
why would they? Why would they? Why should they?
They shouldn't. I'm glad, but why? I thought I was done with Stank. Why do I got to keep talking about Stank? His final match happened yesterday. Let it die. Let it be over. See you later, Stank.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, listen. This was a night of a lot of references from the past and the present even. So, anyway, listen. I don't want to belabor this match in any particular.
It was a great match.
Gunther absolutely killed Dom, as he should kill Dom.
No. Yeah, we watched two different matches then.
All right. So Dominic, what did I miss?
Dominic was dominating for most of the match. He just was playing rope-a-dope with him.
Oh,
he allowed him to slap him around a bunch,
and he almost angry faces now.
He got a couple. He got a couple of near falls on Gunther. I honestly thought he was going to beat Gunther.
Please.
Did you see that over the top suicida that he did? That was great.
The whole match was over the top suicida.
Oh my God! Please. Well, at least Dom knows better than to crash into real glass.
It was a suicide by Gunther attempt there.
Great match.
And even Mommy later on says to him, "What did you think was going to happen?"
Gunther. Yeah. Dominic Mysterio is a great wrestler. If you weren't if you didn't notice that during this match, you're not.
You are talking a lot about the guy who lost easily, and not talking at all about the guy who won easily.
But he got over. Gunther's just slaps. Dominic Mysterio is the future world champion.
We're losing viewers because you know what? I'm giving us an angry face. How do I do that? How do I give us an angry face? I need to log in someplace.
Call Anthony.
So we see Damage Control coming in full force. Dakota is sort of leading the pack. Adam Pearce confronts them. What's going on? What are you all doing here? And Dakota reminds him, the Kabuki Warriors are the WWE Tag Team Champions, and they can go wherever they want as the women's champions. And that means we can come here. And don't worry, we're not going to cause any trouble. No. We're just here to scout the competition. We know that Shayna and Zoe have a match tonight. Didn't mention anything about K&K Dance Factory or any of the other teams in the Raw locker room. They're there to scout them. And Pearce says, okay. If that's what you hear about, but he sort of gets cut off by Shinsuke Nakamura, who needs to talk to Pearce about the Intercontinental Championship. Well, Pearce actually guesses that. And I just want to point out that Nakamura has won exactly one out of his last 9,000 matches. and it was against Sami Zayn, who got his win back. So I don't know why he needs to talk to Shinsuke Nakamura about any sort of title except the title of you win 10% of your matches. That's the title you should get, Mr. 10%.
I agree with your line of thinking here. When we talk about all the competitors in this match for next week's Raw that will face, the winner faces Gunther at WrestleMania. He's not the only one that has been on a losing streak, so there's a lot of questionable entrants here.
There sure are. There sure are, Cotton. That's a bold strategy.
Thank you.
So then we see Andrade arriving, and then we hear from K&K Dance Factory, who, if you don't know, that's Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions for about 3 weeks. Former NXT longest reigning Women's Tag Team Champions.
That's right.
And they cut a promo, which is always unfortunate, but Katana is saying, hey, we're going to get back to the top. We're going to work really hard. And Kaden Carter's like, no, girl, it's not about that. It's WrestleMania season, and we're going to get our WrestleMania spot. And Katana's like, oh, yeah, that's what I meant to say. So I don't know if that was just a promo botch or if they're sort of teasing that maybe they're not exactly on the same page. One is just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good enough if we try, and the other's like, no, we're already good enough. You're holding me back, bitch. So something to watch. But then we get the match with Katana and Kaden against Shayna and Zoe, and Damage Control comes out for commentary. Cole and Pat McAfee are very supportive of Bayley. They're definitely Team Bayley here.
Cole knows better because Bayley will set him straight.
Well, Bayley, is his arch enemy, but even he's on our side. But I'll tell you who was the arch enemy. The crowd. The crowd hated this match. They couldn't care less. It was like a Morgan there. Till the end, there were some high spots, and then when Damage Control started standing up, they showed that they were alive. But listen, this probably shouldn't surprise anyone, but Shayna and Zoe defeated Katana and Kaden in fairly easy fashion.
Surprised.
But I'm sure you're going to tell me that, like Dominic, no, they got over and they were dominating and they were the story.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to say that at all.
Oh, okay. Well, this is great. So Damage Control comes in to congratulate Shayna and Zoe, but we don't really think that they mean it. And
they don't.
Damage Control says, listen, the Kabuki Warriors will face you next week in a real city in Houston on Raw next week. If we get past our NXT challengers tomorrow. And then later on, the graphic shows that the Kabuki Warriors will be facing Damage Control, not even asterixing if they defend their titles successfully on NXT. So great spoiler, guys.
Who are they fighting on NXT again? Is it Lyra Valkyria and who's the other one? Allie Jackson? What's her name?
Tatum Paxley, her stalker BFF, single white female.
For you to be like a female wrestler on NXT, do you just have to have two first names?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
And sometimes you have to have other people's names that are close enough. Like you have to you have to be Lyra Valkyria, which is not Taya Valkyrie, but is just far enough not to be trademark infringement. So, it's exciting stuff like that. Good. Yeah, very good. So anyway, there you go. Judgment Day is in medical. As we mentioned before, Mommy, she's not there for a while. She's cares about Dom, but she's like, what do you think was going to happen? And she leaves the boys to do the talking. And, Priest wants everything to be made right. So JD McDonough, you're going to deal with Gunther. Excellent plan there, Priest. Nice job. The whole segment last week, where you were in Gunther's face, maybe setting seeds for the future, but pretty much nothing.
Damien's smart. Listen, the pawns go first. Send out that jabron JD McDonough out there to soften him up, and then Damian Priest can come in and cash in on the IC champion.
It's true. Gunther may accidentally miss aim and hit JD in the head and break his hand. So, because I'm pretty sure that thing is a bowling ball.
Do you think that, like, going back to Rhea for a second, do you think, like, Rhea's turned off by the fact that Dom got dominated by Gunther?
Yes. Absolutely. And Gunther basically pinned Dom like Rhea pins her opponents.
Oh, yeah, you're right. After that power bomb. No. He put him in a Boston.
Well, it was a
Boston crab.
Yeah, it was a submission. I just wanted to give that visual to the audience. You're welcome. You're
Sweet
welcome.
dreams.
That's right. Dominic's on bottom no matter what.
Poor Dom.
Priest also mentions that him and Finn are going to take care of Imperium. And Dominic alludes to something that I think he was supposed to say. I know he was inferring that you should pay attention or take care of Andrade because he may figure into Judgment Day plans, but he doesn't actually get out a full thought. So that's what the inference is. They clean it up later, but basically Dominic made allusions to Andrade, who, by the way, has his debut match tonight. We're not told against who yet, and that's not the next segment. The next segment is Becky versus Nia Jax, but we should probably go to a commercial before we get to that exciting battle of titans.
I agree with you. Let's take a commercial break. Guys, you're watching Unpopular Review. If you haven't already done so, like and subscribe. And here is our promo. Which one should I pick here?
Tough decision.
Tough decision. Oh, here we go.
Does this. He hugs the Rock. He's smiling. And he looks all sad. But the people in Birmingham, Alabama were happy as fuck to see Rock out. Nobody gave a fuck about Cody leaving the ring looking all sad. But the people at home, because they're on Twitter, they're watching at home, and they can see the camera zoomed in on Cody's little sad-ass, bitch-ass face, right? With their chicken nuggets. Well, then they get online like, I'm hot. I'm pissed that they did this shit.
What are we supposed to do with the chicken nuggets?
Stick up their ass.
Nobody to be able to call their shots the way that Roman Reigns had. Not even Hollywood Hogan was doing this ish, right? And not even Hogan did this, right? Like, not even Hogan was able to be like, I'm calling the shots, brother. Like, no, like, in a sense he did, but it was all Bischoff. So it really wasn't. And you can't say it was Paul Heyman. It's literally Roman Reigns telling you who he's going to face, when he's going to face him, why he's going to face him. Hogan wasn't doing this, right? And like, I as much as I love the NWO, right? I have a legitimate argument that the Bloodline, storyline wise, is arguably the greatest faction. However, if we're talking about literally the greatest faction of accolades, it goes to the main event mafia all day, every day. We know this.
Hey, it's Mariah May. You may know me as The Glamour, and you're watching Unpopular Review.
That's right. Thank you, Glamour. You are watching Unpopular Review. I'm Big Daddy Cool, co-hosting with Evil Dose, the evilest one of them all.
I don't want to brag, but I saw Mariah May a couple weeks ago in Joppa, Maryland, and she remembered me.
She remembered you. She's like, hey, old man, what's going on? Which old folks' home did you escape from?
Yeah, she remembered. She goes, oh, yeah, you were producing that interview with the young guy. And she goes, oh, it's so nice to see you again. What a lovely woman. What a lovely woman.
Did you tell her, thanks, Tiffany?
No. I actually wanted to say if I wanted her to play Tony Storm and say, have you watched Unpopular Review? And she goes, I don't have time to watch Unpopular Review, or something like that. But no, I botched the whole thing.
Oh, well, hopefully you get another chance.
I think that at this point, maybe she's too big for MCW. I think she probably committed to this before she got signed to AEW, but I don't know. Maybe what happened is that usually there's an intermission and all of the wrestlers, they're in the other room where they sell their autographs and stuff and whatever. But no, not this time. It was just in the beginning part, and basically pretty much everyone who was that wasn't on the show, fucked off. They left. Except for Nick Camarado, who walked in towards the end of the show as I was planning to leave it. So that was a little bit weird.
Was he collecting drinks?
I don't know what he was doing, but the weird thing is he wears that hat, like the Tony D'Angelo hat. He actually wore that, but he wasn't in costume. Like he was in his street clothes. Like he was wearing a pea coat and whatever. I think he was just seeing some people. I'm not even sure if he works for AEW anymore, but yeah, he was just hanging out. He walked in. He's a big guy, but he's not like. Don't get me wrong. He's big and tall, but he's not like 6'5". He's probably like 6'2" or so. I mean, but anyway, we're not here to talk about. But yeah, I fucked up with the Mariah May thing. I had a whole little script worked out, and I was gonna,
she made you nervous. I get it.
No, because I got the same thing with Haley J. I got her to do something. It's no problem.
Yeah, guys, this is Unpopular Review. You're watching the Monday Night Raw review show for March 4th, 2024. We are about, I don't know, 1/3 of the way through the card of tonight's
Yeah.
show. So please make
Well-
sure if you got any opinions on tonight's Monday Night Raw show, you please drop the comments. We'll read them live on the air.
No more angry faces.
And no more angry faces. Don't be Anthony. Don't be a Tony Shabbat. And
There's a third. No, I'm kidding.
oh, there they are. Take it away, Jeff.
Yeah, all right. So we get Becky and Nia, and this is a back and forth match. The only
Nia
thing
looked
that's
great
really
tonight.
the only thing noteworthy in this match is that Nia attempted to do a Rikishi stink face. Wasn't exactly the best execution, but Cole recognized that it was in fact a tribute to Rikishi for the stink face. The bottom line with this match is when they were outside and Becky was about to get over and Nia was struggling outside, Liv Morgan came out from the crowd and attacked Nia Jax, leading to Nia Jax getting a DQ win over Becky. So basically tit for tat, and the faces argue, and while the faces argue, Nia destroyed them both on the outside. So nothing is settled there, I guess, as they say.
No, it's settled.
wrestling
Nia Jax looks dominant. She looks great. Todd here says Nia's leg drop. Ouch. Most dominant leg drop in all of professional wrestling since Hulk Hogan. So you're welcome. Nia
That's
Jax.
Todd 0664. Do you think he was born in August of 1964 and he's older than me?
Ooh, I don't know. Or maybe it's just maybe that's his favorite 4 lotto numbers. Who knows? Nobody knows.
Guys,
Except for
maybe it's
Todd.
his last 4 digits of social security numbers. Start trying identity theft right now. Good job. So then we could
Hold on, before you move on.
Yeah.
Fucking Liv Morgan. What's wrong with her? Like, she has no business in this match. Why is she interrupting the match? She's talking about how Becky Lynch is always interrupting, and then she goes ahead and butts her way into this match. What's the matter with her?
Hammurabi's Code, an eye for an eye. She's on a revenge tour, and so far she's 1-3 on a revenge tour. It's not going so well, so she's got to get extra vengey.
She's gonna get extra vengey.
Right, for the love of vengey, has to get extra vengey too.
Oh my god, she's just I can't stand her. Ugh.
Yeah, I know, but it happened. So anyway, so then
It happened.
so as Nia
Todd-
is walking back up the
Yes.
ramp,
Yes.
the camera cuts to her, and apparently she had some interaction with a fan, and she took his hat and she started hitting him with it, and then threw it into the crowd.
Good.
And I'm not sure if that was a plant or if that was a work or a shoot, or it looked legit. But if she did that, even if he deserved it, I mean, like, that's a liability issue. You're not
No,
supposed
it's
to
not.
hit the
That guy
fans.
he should have known better than to try and touch Nia Jax. What's the matter with that Neanderthal?
I don't know. I mean, don't fans stick their hands out all the time to try and touch? I don't know what happened. I don't know if he said something. I don't know, but I'm
He
just
probably
telling
did
you
say
that
something. He probably said something ridiculous, like Cody Rhodes calling the Samoan Empire a PowerPoint presentation. She deserved it. Todd said it's just random numbers. See, there you go.
Okay.
It's not identity theft.
That's a likely. Well, I mean,
Everybody can stop trying to hack Todd now.
No. That could just be a story. Keep trying. Don't give up, you quitters. Don't be like Becky Lynch and quit.
Becky Lynch is still. What do you mean she's not a quitter? She's still.
All right. Well, be like Becky Lynch. Keep trying.
That's right.
So
Don't be like Liv and cry about it.
people who talking about people who keep trying. Adam Pearce is talking to Ricochet, who's wearing a turtleneck with a sports coat. So
Hey, everybody, we found Ricochet.
That's right.
You can stop looking now.
Well, we found 2 people tonight. So the be on the lookout milk carton,
The milk
orders
carton
can be
crew?
rescinded on 2 people tonight, and Ricochet is one of them. He's been complaining that he's not getting any respect and nobody's dealing with him. And Adam Pearce is like, "I'm sorry, who are you again?" No, he's like, "I respect you. Gunther won the title from you. I know what you've been doing, and I have a plan. So do you trust me?" And Ricochet's like, "Yes, I trust you." Why the hell would you trust him? You've barely been in on the show for the last 7 months.
Yeah.
Don't trust that guy. Anyway, the funny part is that JD McDonough comes in and he's trying to make with the Judgment Day, and he's like, "I want to talk to you, or our board needs to talk to you about Gunther." And Adam Pearce is like, "Okay, make your pitch to me." And JD McDonough's talking about, he's like, "I don't have much to say. I'm going to let my talking be done." And it cuts off. It goes right to commercial. So the production and the network turn face. This was the highlight of the show, as far as I'm concerned, when it cut off in his mid saying, I'm not talking while he's still talking. If you say you're not going to talk, just stop talking. Watch me. I'm going to stop talking. Excellent radio.
I have a question for you about JD McDonough. You know, it's March and St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner.
I sure do, Steve.
Why can't they build up, and this is about to come across as somewhat insensitive to the Irish community, but why don't they just have JD McDonough like slowly but surely like do like an angry leprechaun kind of gimmick, where he's like always stomping and like, where are my lucky charms?
I'm all for it. So what would be the British version of a leprechaun? Would you say that's a gnome?
A troll, maybe?
No,
Yeah,
trolls are big, like maybe a dwarf.
No. What about an under the bridge troll? Those are small. No.
Okay, well, we can go there. Anyway, that's what Tyler Bate can play in their rivalry. in our mythological creatures, anthropomorphized creature battle versus battle for WrestleMania.
That's right.
The leprechaun versus the
troll,
bridge troll, the goat troll. So
and look, Tyler Bates already ready. He's wearing his underoos. He'll be a perfect under the bridge troll.
Right.
He's got boots on that he stole from somebody trying to cross the bridge and had to pay the toll troll. Like, it's great. Writes itself.
It sure does.
Oh, we lost a viewer. That was probably, he didn't like the Tyler Bates slander.
I don't know. The last time I looked, there was one less. So as far as I'm concerned, we gained a viewer. So, hey, you have to be positive like me and then look on the bright side of things. So anyway, here's
I agree with Todd. Bring in Hornswoggle to squash JD.
All for it. 100% for it. But as I said, that was the highlight of the show for me anyway. Becky confronts Liv backstage, and the long and the short of it is, let's not talk about, let's fight. Will you face me one-on-one next week, for your little revenge tour? And Liv says, yes, it's on. And then Rhea saunters up and laughs at Becky. So she's like, you keep putting up more challenges for yourself and making your road to WrestleMania harder without saying it. She's just laughing. Well, she also keeps facing Nia Jackson. If you think that's over, then you're a bigger quitter than Adam Pearce is.
I love it. See, she's a fighting champion. She's not taking the easy road, Becky Lynch. She's not
a champion.
Road. What?
She's a challenger.
I know she's not. But what I'm saying is she's not taking the easy road.
But you said she's a fighting champion. She's a challenger.
Okay, then she's a fighting challenger. All right.
You have to be a fighting challenger.
Absolutely. No, you could be a crying challenger like that Liv Morgan.
Or Cody Rhodes.
It's all your fault. You were in the Elimination Chamber. You got pinned. Get out of here, you crybaby.
Right. That was one of her many losses in her revenge tour. Very unsuccessful so far. Maybe revenge is not the vocation for her.
Yeah, maybe she should stop with the revenge. Stop revenging. You're not a revenger, Liv Morgan. Stop with it, please.
Right. She's not a member of Revenger X or Regeneration X.
No.
Maybe she should go more into sort of like a Martha Stewart kind of Rachel Ray kind of gimmick.
That's right. Oh, you know what? That's what's missing in professional wrestling is like the cook. Who was the last cook?
Like the creepy nice lady, like Julia Child kind of thing. I mean, technically, Red Velvet is coming from your mama's kitchen. And right. I don't know exactly what Angelo Dawkins does when he does the stir and he goes, yeah, but I assume he's mixing cake mix or cookie dough.
Maybe the last one with the cooking gimmick was, remember AEW, for one brief weekend, there was an indie wrestler that spun pizzas in the middle of a match?
Yeah, of course. Pizza Tony or whatever his name is. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. No, yeah. He's the next war horse.
Who's the next? Who's the next who? The war horse is the next
Jimmy Havoc.
Jimmy Havoc.
Right. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. But anyway, none of them are like our next contender match, which is Andrade coming out as the Red Skull, and his opponent is Apollo Crews, who, again, two missing person cases, two cold cases closed successfully. People are found. Everyone's safe. Good job. Take them off the red board on the police list and missing persons. FBI, you can scratch those off your list. Job well done. Men and women of law enforcement, I salute you. I thank you for your service.
We can tell Clarice Starling to stop looking. We don't
absolutely.
need Clarice Starling. No need to keep searching.
And listen, Michael Cole, the historian, he makes reference to Andrade's first name, using his father's wrestling name, Junior, how he was La Sombra in CMLL. He acknowledges CMLL. That's in a maybe
acknowledged CMLL, but didn't acknowledge AEW.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? Using numerology, I actually decoded what he said, and he said, if you partner with WWE, your visas would be just fine.
This is true. This is true.
I double checked that. Yes, I double checked with Gematria as well. You dummy! Stop asking me that. Damn it, Todd! Damn it, chop it!
I want to talk about. A lot of people online were tweeting about how Andrade, his new entrance music is very similar to the AEW entrance music, and the AEW entrance they just stole it's not word for word because he's not talking. What would be
reminiscent of, similar to.
Thank you. There you go. Similar to, reminiscent of. And my retort to that is, who would fucking know what Andrade's entrance looks like when the guy was never fucking booked in AEW? How would you know? How would you know that this is what his entrance looks like?
That's a pretty good point. My retort would have been, why is this news anymore? I mean, Cody Rhodes is exactly the same. CM Punk's was the same. Jade's is extremely similar. I mean, this is not news. AEW lets the wrestlers own their own gimmicks and their own intellectual property. They can walk away and use it wherever. So why wouldn't they use it if that's what they want to? It's a new era in WWE where Triple H is a lot more forgiving of things like that. And if it works, it works. I didn't particularly think that the music was great, but I don't think that every Latino wrestler has to have something with the mariachi guitar riff at the beginning either. So it's fine. We've got the LW. Well, I mean, you can speak for the culture. That's right, because you are. Well, actually, by marriage, so am I. We're two Latinos here. We can just talk frankly. So from Latino to Latino, I just don't think everyone needs the same style of music. I think it's fine. But I have to say, it wasn't very exciting, and the crowd didn't seem all that excited to see Andrade. And I have to believe that they held off to San Antonio because it is a southern state near the Mexico border, and they probably thought that he'd get a much bigger pop than he did. And
no, really I think you read the room wrong. I think they were very excited to see Andrade. They were not excited to see Apollo Crews.
He came out later. He came out like 7 minutes later after we had to sit through a whole bunch of stuff. But I thought you were going to say that Andrade was very famous in Japan, and the Japanese wrestling fans are very quiet and respectful, and that they remember.
That's right. So are the San Antonio fans.
Los Gobernables or Ingobernables de San Antonio. Okay. So, another mystery solved. Good job, Detective Steve.
Thank you.
Good job, Inspector Rock Gulch. Glengarry, Glenn Ross.
Inspector Gadget.
Well, in case anybody was wondering, Andrade won after a fairly one-sided match. Apollo Crews looked pretty good. I have to be honest, in the little offense that Apollo Crews got, I actually thought that he looked crisper and smoother than Andrade. There was one spot that drove me crazy. Can you guess what it is?
No.
All right. So Apollo Crews delivers a superplex on Andrade from the top rope, because that's what a superplex is. Andrade gets up immediately and attempts to deliver the Three Amigos, and does deliver, cringy, sort of clumsy Three Amigos, with the obligatory Eddie Guerrero. Everyone's got to pay homage to Eddie Guerrero every single goddamn wrestling show. But I mean, it was No Cell City, which I guess is Lucha style, Mr. Lucha hat.
No, listen. And in Andrade's defense, he's still got this AEW rust to shake off. So obviously he's learned some bad habits over there. So I'm sure it'll all come out in the wash sooner or later.
Well, it certainly would explain why Apollo Crews, who's learned good habits, was confused and clumsy with, why the hell do I need to get up so quickly for not one but three suplexes? What the hell is going on here? Anyway, Andrade, his new finisher is called La Sombra, and it's basically a modified DDT. It looked good. It's a good finisher. I like the DDT as a finisher. I know that no one considers it one, so little modifications keeps it looking a little bit fresh. So good. Andrade with a fairly impressive win. They overhyped it, but that's fine. That's what they're supposed to do.
Impressive. It was a dominant win. What are you talking about? Fairly impressive.
Right. Well, while the crowd was respecting Andrade in silence, we learned that Cody Rhodes will be live at WWE World April 4th in Philadelphia.
Is he going to be there with that goofy dog?
Yeah, April, maybe. And it'll be live, and they're selling tickets. And also the Pat McAfee show will be broadcasting live with his entire entourage, including, I don't know, some athletes. Is it TJ Watts or one of the guys from Under Armour who said click clack? And I don't know who's on his show. Tyler Perry? I
Big Mouth
don't
Tony?
know.
Tyler, did you say Tyler Perry?
Yeah, Tyler Perry, Medea.
Yeah, of course. Medea is it's
Aeschylus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all of them.
Enkidu, the whole crowd. Lilith.
Yeah, it's Pat McAfee, it's Medea, and then also RuPaul is on the cast. All of those guys.
Excellent. So the usual cast there,
and Ren from Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, good. What about the Brain from Pinky and the Brain?
Only on Saturdays.
Oh shit! Well, this is a Thursday. This is the 4th. But anyway, you can buy your tickets and see the whole gang. So Adam Pearce has a totally live announcement that definitely wasn't pre-recorded, but at least he was wearing the same outfit that he was wearing on Raw, and he's really considered seriously all of the contenders for Gunther's title, and he's given it great consideration, and a lot of people have made lots of great cases. So he's decided that there's going to be a 6-man gauntlet match next week on Raw. And that will decide who Gunther's challenger going to be. And in those, there you have the graphic, well done. And in that you have the extremely deserving Shinsuke Nakamura, who's won 1 out of his last 8 matches. I'm not kidding. JD McDonough, who, as near as I can remember, has won exactly 1 match, and that was against R-Truth, and he's lost every match since and every match before that. We have Ricochet, who, for all I know, is completely undefeated, but that's probably in CMLL. For all I know, he's Magnus.
Ricochet is undefeated in 2024, I believe.
Yep, he's Atlantis Junior, and whatever. Chad Gable, who's lost most of his matches, although people love him. Bronson Reed, who he's lost most of his big matches, but at least he's won some matches.
But he did get a woman pregnant, so that's a win. Right,
exactly. And Sami Zayn, who's been needing to find a path to WrestleMania, and I've been saying this is his only path to WrestleMania and a championship. So, I guess they're doing the Eddie Kingston story with Sami Zayn, but it doesn't stop just there. So anyway, there's that. Interestingly enough, one of the toughest challengers for Gunther is not in this, curiously enough, or maybe not so curious, but no Jey Uso. Because I guess somehow Adam Pearce knew that Jey Uso would be otherwise occupied in advance. So I guess he has very incredible powers of prescience.
Look at that. You found the loophole in the booking. Good job there, Evil Dose.
Thank you. All right. So we also see the Judgment Day is watching the match during the back because they're keeping their eye on Andrade, which is where they confirm the inference that I mentioned earlier. By the way, they did start this match with a Ring of Honor style handshake, so both faces. And then we get to Sami Zayn being interviewed by Jackie Redmond. And Jackie Redmond asked Sami Zayn the question. You've heard what Adam Pearce has to say. You've seen Gunther. What is going through your head? And all I'm thinking is, how do I avoid looking down your shirt? Oh my God, it's so open and that's so hot. So Sami Zayn does say that, in fact, and
no, he doesn't. He didn't say that.
And then we get the technical difficulties sign going on the show for 30 minutes while Sami gets his composure. He was acting like Michael Cole after the antlers were put on him. Now, Sami Zayn says something like, "This is it. This is the path. This is the only one I've got. Nobody respects me, and this is it." Basically, a miniature version of the Eddie Kingston 2-year Respect Me tour. But once again, this became the new highlight of the show, the plunging neckline and extra button open on Jackie Redmond's top. So congratulations to her on outfoxing Kathy Kelly.
Congratulations to all of you. If you guys liked Jackie Redmond's outfit tonight, make sure you leave a like and also subscribe to Unpopular Review Wrestling. Especially find us on YouTube. Just
That's
search
right.
unpopular review
We
wrestling.
just got a couple of likes. I saw it. I see it on my end
That's
here.
right. They're just popping up. Bing, bing,
That's
bing,
it.
bing,
You
bing.
bet they're popping up. There was a lot popping up going on tonight, and this is where it started. But the new highlight of the show was right there, and luckily it wasn't last. All right, so we get this, So basically, Sami Zayn challenges Inner Mandalorian and says, "This is the way." So this was exciting. And then he got interrupted by Valhalla and Ivar, which was
Good.
random as F. And Ivar's like, "I know I can beat Gunther, but I know you can't." And Sammy goes, "Well, maybe so, but I know I can beat you. So meet me in the ring tonight," which I think
It's so rude that he called him meat.
yeah, I know. And I think he intended it as a date. And I think Ivar got the wrong idea. And, they all got dressed up. But, we'll find out about that later. So the next match leading us into the second hour is Judgment Day, Priest and Finn, the unified tag team champions of the world, versus Imperium. But first we get a graphic. Rest in peace, Paul Butcher Vachon of the famous Vachon wrestling family, another royal family. Remember Luna Vachon well, and the Mad Dog Vachon and Paul Butcher Vachon. So yeah, there you go. Another wrestling death. So we were talking about when's the third going to come? There's the third.
There's the third. It was Virgil, Ole Anderson, and what's his name? Burchill Vachon?
Paul Vachon, not Burchill Vachon.
Paul Burchill Vachon.
That's a different person, and he's alive. I think he's actually wrestling with TNA. Which, by the way, I found they're really on a hot streak. 85,000 and holding steady in the demo of 0.02. Nice job. Anyway, so we come back to we're seeing Candice and Indy talking about their tag team prospects, and basically doing the same thing as Katana and Kaden. I don't know if there's going to be like tag team partner do-si-do happening here, because there seems to be one partner with happy to stay the course and we're really trying very hard and we'll get our shot again. Another partner going, "Nah, man, this shit sucks." And the camera pans right, and you have Natty and Tegan Knox basically having the same conversation, and Natty's being all haughty-taughty going, "Oh, you know what? I agree. Our window is closing and we've got to change up. We've got to put away our manners." And Tegan's like, "Well, you tried to throw me out of the Royal Rumble first." And Natty's like, "That's not really the way I remember it, but come, forget our manners. We've got to replan everything." And then we pan back to Candice and Indy, and Candice is like, "You know what? She's right. We do need to change. We need to forget our manners and lose our manners." And Indy's like, "What's up with that?" And so Candice turning heel, and then we pan a little bit to the left, and Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile come there, and they're like super supportive, like, "You got it, girls. No problem. You're going to get your chance totally." And Candice is like, "Whoa, Maxine Dupree, I am not taking." Hey, what's up, Will Raleigh Sport One?
He says he watches TNA.
He said TBA, to be announced.
He said he meant TNA.
Oh, why are you typing words into his computer?
Because you said earlier that we should hack into our fan account. So go ahead.
Okay, but listen, when you use my own logic against me, I have to respect that. So basically playing off Maxine's, sort of Twitter embarrassment, so to speak, Candice LeRae says, "Why would I take advice from somebody who can't even lace my boots?" And they're like shocked. And Ivy Nile's like, don't worry, I'll take care of this." So I don't know. We got a whole lot of stuff going there. One team seems to be unified, but two teams not so much, and that's fine because all three of these teams probably aren't much of anything, but they're wrestling stories.
For you to be a stronger team together, you have to go through some hard times, and so that's what's happening with Kaden and Katana.
Right. Brooks and Jensen taught us that, and that worked out really well for them as they are no longer a team.
Well, listen, Brooks and Jensen, there was a girl that got involved. If anybody watches NXT, which they should.
Yeah, they should. I mean, it's Kiana James is not just a girl. She's the true legit boss.
Yeah, so, listen.
Everybody's comparing Mercedes Moné to everybody else, but they're all forgetting that there already is a legit boss in NXT, and her name is Kiana James. Another team in NXT who decided to fight it out to become a stronger team, Hank and Tank. Haven't seen them in a while, which I'm not complaining about. They should be shipped off and they should be sent to Manchuria, as far as I'm concerned.
Manchuria.
Yes, they can be the Manchurian candidates. That can be their team. Anyway, get rid of. Listen, I could have picked Ukraine, so
You could have, but there's more there. So
All right. So listen,
I'm
we
listening.
now, yeah. So this is a good match. I mean, this is actually an excellent match. I don't give it short shrift. It was like a 20, 25-minute match between commercials. It was pretty 50-50.
Was
There
it
was a
better
point,
than Will Ospreay versus Takeshita?
very different. I'm gonna say
I'm gonna mark that
no.
down
This was
as-
not a match of the year candidate, and I'm told that the other one is. So
I'm gonna mark that down as a yes.
okay, there you go. There was a point where Vinci was not there for the tag, and I thought that was going to be a pivotal point, but it wasn't. Kaiser got taken out. Priest clobbered both guys. He delivered a flatliner, but there was a kick out. Priest hit a broken arrow, but Kaiser kicked out of that as well. Then Imperium looks like they botched the finisher, but it wasn't going to be the finish anyway. When in doubt, Finn Balor hits the sling blade, which he hit about 900 times. Eventually, though, he hit the coup de grace, but Kaiser broke up the pinfall on Vinci. But he basically walks right into a South of Heaven, and the Judgment Day get the win, retaining the championships. And they're sort of starting to get a mixed reaction, almost like a face reaction, though they're not slapping any hands or anything like that, but they're sort of getting a face reaction. So,
well, listen, they just beat up a couple Nazis. So, I mean, listen, every time Captain America does that, I mean, he gets cheered and applauded. So they made him the captain of the Avengers. So
it's true, but I mean, Judgment Day is not really made up of Captain Americas. I mean, they identify as people from Puerto Rico, who I know as America. Dominic identifies as Australian through mommy, and and Finn and JD are mythological creatures from Celtic land.
I mean, but look at Finn below you. Look at how many abs. He's got abs that have abs.
I don't want to look at Finn below me. What kind of guy do you think I am?
Look,
I'm happily
Finn's
married.
below you.
Oh, you mean, oh, I see what you mean. Right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
There he
No,
is.
yeah, he's got, what was that? Okay. Well,
I'm being too raunchy. My computer's telling me I'm being too raunchy.
Wow. Yeah. Behave yourself. Behave. Leave the misbehavior to others. So anyway, at this point, Michael Cole mentions how when he and Taz were young commentators, how they were being taught how to commentate, and they were being and this led into a tribute by the person who taught them, the first inductee for the 2024 Hall of Fame, Paul Heyman. And then we saw a lovely montage of Paul Heyman with just the guy he was with for almost 20 years omitted from it. So no Brock Lesnar mentioned or shown, but
who's Brock Lesnar?
Exactly, but pretty much everyone else. Anyway, they showed ECW and all that other good stuff. So, and the Hall of Fame will be April 5th at 11 o'clock after SmackDown. It will be streaming live on Peacock if you want to watch the Hall of Fame.
That's right. Log in now, guys. You know how when you had to wake up early to bring a lawn chair to get your the best seats, you had to go to the stadium or the arena and camp out. Do the same thing. Technology isn't that different.
You used to have to do that if you want to see the new Star Wars movie. Like when the new Star Wars sequels came out, well, the old Star Wars sequels, like when Empire and Return of the Jedi came out, and people would go 24 hours and bring blankets and food and beach chairs and stuff.
You're not a real fan. You're not a real WWE or wrestling fan if you're not already logging into Peacock right now and just start watching it. Just start watching it right now.
That's right. If you are not waiting in line at Philadelphia right now, you're not a real fan. Here at UPR, we are now going to become gatekeepers because that's just the way we're going to be. That is the way of the world. I just got to know from our possible guest that he's going to be a few minutes late. He's already an hour late, but no, he was never supposed to be at any particular time because he's coming home from Raw. But we might be done by the time he gets in. Anyway, the next segment is my next favorite part of the show because it's once again Jackie Redmond, and she's interviewing Drew McIntyre, who at 6'5.5". All he can do is look down at her shirt, and I'm just like, I already want to be Drew McIntyre, but never so much as that moment. So Drew, managing to look up in every direction other than down, says Seth Rollins did not listen to any of his warnings about the bloodline because Seth is a spotlight junkie, and anything that's hot, he's got to glam himself onto. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. Basically, Drew McIntyre called Seth Rollins Chris Jericho in this promo.
Wow.
And that was awesome. Very meta. You didn't catch that?
That's very meta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. You're right. I
Right.
didn't put that together, but you're right.
And then Drew says, with regards to Jey Uso, that he's going to be the bigger man. He's going to apologize in advance for beating his ass. So there's that. We see Damage Control walking back, and then in the back, and like they're going out, and then Rhea sort of bumps into them, and she says, "Stay out of my territory." And there's a stare down between Io and Rhea. Are they already building like Clash of the Champions or some sort of Survivor Series thing? But basically, Io scoffs at. She's like, "Ruh," and that was
what's
that.
up with Io like grunting to other people? Like she did it to Jade the other day. Like Jade was just staring at her title, like, "Oh yeah, mommy want."
Don't you know anything about Japanese culture? That like whenever a samurai or a ninja or a karate guy does a move, afterwards they go, wakarimasu. It's just that.
Now that you put it that way, yeah, that makes
It's
total
warrior
sense.
talk. Yeah, watch Shogun on FX. It's excellent. All right. So next we get Sammy and Ivar, and match is fine, but the highlight of this is that Cole goes crazy bonkers because Valhalla is finally wearing the antlers, and Valhalla plays into it. She jumps on the commentary. Pat is like, "Cole, what is wrong with you? Why are you excited about these goddamn antlers? They're just silly. You're a fool." And Valhalla puts the antlers on Michael Cole's head. The crowd is chanting, "Michael." Pat wonders why Cole is so infused in this. He's like, "What is going on?" He used the patostrator, and he points out there's only 7 prongs on this antlers. It's not even a big antler. And Cole is like, "It is by Texas." And Pat's like, because he totally goes game hunting with friends on like private ranches. He's like, "No, it's not, you dumbass." And he's like making fun of Michael Cole for this, and I'm wondering what's this all about. And now how Michael Cole has basically jismed in his pants and is going all crazy with antler juice, which is not quite as bad as our own Bad Guy Jack's ass juice, but is up there. And basically, there's a face turn for Valhalla as she does this to Michael Cole. There you go. Exactly.
I was wondering what she was doing here because I missed this part of the segment. I thought she was defecating on the desk.
She might have been, but we don't know because Cole was too excited, and then Pat was busy, wondering why he had spooged in his pants over this. And we were definitely getting some TVMA commentary. And at some point, then Michael Cole gives us this classic line: "Now I know how JR felt all those years wearing that silly cowboy hat."
Oh wow, throwing digs. WrestleMania season's heating up. Everybody, JR versus Michael Cole,
right?
2024.
So back to our Eddie Kingston.
Jeff, before you jump in, Jeff wants to know: did we ever get Io versus Rhea before?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe in NXT.
I don't think so. The match should be just 5 minutes long with Rhea just completely dominating that trash can.
I honest to God, Jeffrey, I think that was totally spontaneous.
Cole's fetish with antlers was hilarious. That had to be a Triple H idea. I don't. Who knows?
I think it was.
I really thought she was taking a shit on the desk.
I think it was.
I was like, oh shit, this is wild. Like last night you get Darby just killing himself, and then tonight we're gonna see Valhalla take a shit on this desk. Wow, it's just wild. Wrestling in 2024 is off the chain.
It sure is. It sure is, Steve. All right, so in this match, so again, Sammy King. I should say Sammy Kingston because he was acting like Eddie Kingston. Because when I start paying attention to the match again, Sammy is delivering the weakest overhead blows to Ivar I've ever seen, but Ivar sells them anyway. This was a little bit embarrassing, but then Sammy does an exploder. He's going to set up for the hell of a kick, and he runs straight into a splat from Ivar off the second rope. Then Ivar misses the doomsault from the top rope, and then Sammy delivers the haluva kick and gets the win. As he's recovering and celebrating, Bronson Reed attacks him from behind, and afterwards he crushes Sammy with a big splash from the top rope. At this point, I was sort of expecting like a bunch of the other competitors to come in, but no, that was it. It was just Bronson flocking to the crowd because we do a lot of flocking here.
I've never been more excited to see Bronson Reed, like ever, in NXT. Yeah, here, he shows up. He just puts a squash in on this Sami Zayn. I can't stand Sami Zayn.
Wow, that's mean.
No, it's
So
not.
speaking of people you don't like, Gunther is with Kathy Kelly, and she points out that he's facing a stacked field. What are his thoughts on this? He's like, stacked field? That's the way it should be. I'm flattered. But all that they're competing for is to earn a shot at humiliation. And then Gunther comes in, and he's like, and then Gable comes in, rather. He's wearing a suit and a shirt, and he's like, a dress shirt. He's like, I'm sick of your stupid smile, Gunther. And then he goes, boo, 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 you made my daughter cry. Boo, 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 you embarrassed me in front of my family. Don't bring your kids to wrestling. You knew you were booked to lose, dummy. He goes, I'm going to take away your smile, like he's going to take away Shawn Michaels' smile. This is his redemption. And for Chad Gable versus the other 5 men in this, it just means more. And all I say is, Liv Morgan deserves more of a chance than you do, Gable.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
lost clean on TV.
Out of these 6 guys, who do you think is going to win the match?
Sami Zayn, because I've been predicting that for weeks before this even became a thing on TV. Everyone's telling me I'm stupid. It's going to be Chad Gable, which it may in fact be, but they're saying it's going to be everyone except Sami Zayn. I'm like, Sami Zayn's going to be in a big WrestleMania match. Chad Gable doesn't need to be in a big WrestleMania match. Maybe they make it a triple threat so he can eat the pin.
I think Chad Gable he deserves it more than Sami Zayn. I think Chad Gable should win.
Except he's like the internet. There's a segment of the internet that loves Chad Gable.
Yes.
But that same segment of the internet also loves Sami Zayn, but other people also love Sami Zayn. Listen, if Chad Gable was 6'1", he'd be on his 7th world title reign by now. But he's 5'1", and that's not going to change.
Who do you think is more over in the nation of Guam? Sami Zayn or Chad Gable?
Sami Zayn.
Debatable.
Yeah, and there'll be a Sami Zayn is Syrian, and he's a person of color.
Is anybody from Guam here in the chat? If you're here from Guam, show yourself, represent yourself, raise your hand.
Well, I just hacked into Todd 0864's account, and he is now from Guam. Or at least the social security number and driver's license coming my way says that I'm Todd from Guam. So anyway.
We got Jeffrey says he did some research, and Io did face Rhea before at NXT in 2020 as Io Shirai.
Yep. Well, who's Io Shirai? I only know Io Sky. What's he talking about?
I only know Eeyore.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's excellent. Thank you, Jeffrey, for that. I said maybe NXT. So look, right again, Jeff. Yeah, he does need it more, but he ain't gonna get it more because WrestleMania isn't for Chad Gable.
Oh.
WrestleMania is for stars, and
Sounds
Chad
like
Gable
my sex life.
is just
I definitely need it more. Whether I'm going to get it more is a different story.
Yeah. Well, enough said. We got it. We understand. All right. So then we see Jey Uso in the back, and he's yupping and flocking about.
Yeeting.
And then he basically apparently didn't hear what Drew McIntyre says, because he basically cuts the same promo except reverse. Basically says, Drew, I'm sorry, you're gonna get beat. And he comes up with a clever rhyme, Jay don't play. I'm a little
Put it on a shirt.
Yeah, I'm a little bit done with Jey Uso. We then see, it wasn't the New Day. It was just Xavier Woods, DIY, The Awesome Truth, and they're playing 2K24, and they want you to know that you can play early access tomorrow, and you can pre-order on Friday, I believe. And then they have a Regeneration X rally. They also make some jokes about, getting excited in their pants and blowing things all over the place and things like that, but which is totally up Regeneration X's alley, or at least Degeneration X's. But the Miz is the only one who seems to have a wise idea as to how to get to the Judgment Day, and that is to get their tag team titles. Much better than Slime and something else that R-Truth had in mind that hurts. I don't know, but this was silly. But
that was
it was
a wild
obligatory.
trip to Austria that he came back, and now he's all like, sadomasochistic.
All right, well, you know what they say about Z Germans. Shout out to Chris Hams. So anyway, this was a silly, this was promotion for the game, but they did advance a story sort of, and let us know that these teams are going to be in the mix for at least the Raw titles, maybe Unified. Who knows?
That's how cross promotion works. You know that if you have an international VPN, you can access the game early. Like, you just got to change your home location to like Australia.
Yeah, no, I know exactly how VPNs work.
Do you know how to do that?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I'm the person who couldn't set up a second Facebook account. What are you talking about? Of course,
You just admitted that you were Todd 80864. Now you're.
Oh, I know how to
claiming-
get a social security number and a driver's license
You
and a
don't.
credit score of 730.
Oh, good. Yeah, very good. Very good. 730.
Yeah,
Good luck
0864 spells out phonetically. It's a very large name, but it actually sounds rather Guamian. Uh, whatever that means.
Guamian.
Yeah, Guamese. Yeah. All right. So moving on.
Moving on.
Yep. So Jay comes out, and the crowd is pouncing for Jay, and Pat is pouncing as well. He's very excited. This match against Drew is the main event, and it's the beginning. It's mostly Jay on offense, and then Drew sort of turns it around in the second half. Jay Uso, I noticed, now has gold teeth in his grill, sort of copying Swerve a little bit, but not all the way. Just like mostly on his canines and vampirish areas. I've never noticed that before. So, do you know if this is a new fashion choice of Jay's, or
No, I
is
think
this
he's
something?
had it.
Okay, I don't know. I think I would have noticed the gold before, but who knows? I'm pretty observant, but maybe not. Anyway, in this match, before it even happens, I wrote down Jimmy interferes. Well, I was wrong. That was coitus interruptus on Jeff. I guess I had the antlers in my pants at that moment because it was actually Solo that comes out for the distraction, but Cody comes out and evens the odds, and Cody battles Solo into the crowd. But then as we turn around, and Drew McIntyre is going to deliver a Claymore onto the distracted Jey Uso. But no, Jay is a step ahead of him and delivers not one, not two, but 3 super kicks, then a spear, taking his cousin's move. But when he turns around, oh no, there's Jimmy, and Jimmy's picking up a chair, and he's looking menacing, and he's sauntering his way to the ring in a circuitous manner. So
Circuitous, man. You like a hyena.
Yes, like a circuitous manner. No, well, maybe. And while because of that distraction, Jay turns around and eats a Claymore, and this time Drew gets the win.
Right.
Jimmy's going to come in with the chair, but then we hear Seth Rollins, who runs right past Drew McIntyre. He's not paying any attention to Drew McIntyre. He's not concerned. He's chasing Jimmy out of the way, and as he's taunting and challenging Jimmy to come out and fight him like a man instead of chasing him, he turns around and walks right into a Claymore by Drew. And Drew saying, you shouldn't have taken your eyes off of me. You had to pay attention to me. You're not keeping your eye on the ball. You're paying attention to everything except me, and I'm going to take that title. And that's how the show goes off the air.
Did you also notice that Seth didn't put any hands on any of the Bloodline, and none of the Bloodline put any hands on Seth?
Well, I did notice that, but for one, Solo was out being beaten up by Cody. The other is that Jimmy ran away, and Seth had to stay in there for the move. But I'm liking your Stevicon. It's entirely possible. I am not entirely sure that they've decided what's going to happen. So I think they have all these cookies. Oh, we're definitely getting brother versus brother, because there's no reason why Jay wouldn't be in the gauntlet. Just make it a 7-man gauntlet.
In the 6-man loser leaves town match.
Right. Yeah, it can be in the Holy 7 or the Sacred 7 match. But obviously, wins and losses aren't what qualifies you for being in that match.
Obviously not.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think the more losses you get, let's hold up a second. Let's take a look at these. I think the more losses you get gets you entry into this match.
You know what? You might.
Ricochet hasn't won. Chad Gable is like, when was the last time he won? Sami Zayn won 1 match, so he's got 1 win.
I'm pretty sure Chad Gable beat Ivar at least once.
Yes,
but
so he's got at least 1.
Most of these guys have 1 to 2 wins that I can remember, and the 2 is Sami Zayn, and he got 1 of them tonight. Ricochet, I have no idea when the last time he was in a match, but I'm sure he was on the losing side of it. Bronson Reed probably is the winningest guy.
In Ricochet's defense, he did bag Samantha Irvin, so I guess he's winning there.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Can't argue with
Very
that.
good.
So.
That was Monday Night Raw. What did you think about the overall Monday Night Raw?
I don't think it was up to the levels of the past 2 weeks. I think it did advance stories and set some matches up for next week, which is important. So I thought it was a little bit humdrum. I'm going to go with and 3 hours exacerbates that. I did learn, however,
Ooh,
that
what did you learn?
part of the reason that they advertise the cities so much for when they do their shows and for pay-per-views or PLEs is that's part of the negotiations in the site fees. Part of the site fees is for the advertising that the venues will get during the show and up to the show.
Oh.
I'm not sure if they get that for Raw and SmackDown as well. I don't think so necessarily, but maybe it's part of their pitch when they, in the future. Otherwise, it's just filler. But what I think, I mean, I'm going to give this show a C. It did what it had to do, but I don't think it was, the show opened up with a dud, and it got better as the show went on. But when you start boring and cold, that's hard to overcome. Sort of like my first semester of law school.
I think the show definitely started out as a C for Cody, and then it picked up after Seth Rollins decided to show up and entertain and wake everybody up in San Antonio. I'm sure if Drew was here, he would have said the same thing, that he was bored out of his mind until Seth Rollins showed up. So since Drew is not here to speak about what the live crowd was like, I'm just going to infer that completely.
Okay.
I think the in-ring action was good tonight, and definitely better than some of the dog shit wrestling you saw last night at AEW. But
what dog shit wrestling that you saw last night?
Oh, so that's right. We don't talk about AEW on WWE. That's right.
I was watching CMLL Espectaculario.
Oh yeah, should we do a live review of the CMLL roster right now?
No. They have to tune into the Hammerlock Hangover from 3 episodes ago if they want to get that gem.
That's right. That was the episode titled Montezuma's Revenge. We just went through. Me and Jeff and I do a podcast called The Hammerlock Hangover. So if you're new here, like and subscribe to Unpopular Review. But if we actually made you laugh, please make sure that you check us out at Hammerlock Hangover.
Yeah, and if you're old here, you fuckers, you probably aren't listening, you jerk-offs. We hate you, so start listening so we like you.
That's right. That's right.
Don't make us give you angry faces. We can.
No, we can't.
I can do it through Todd's account, which is my account.
Jeffrey wants to know, Steve, you didn't like Darby's spot. No, it's fucking unnecessary. What? You already had a main event with Sting's retirement. What good does the spot do? The guy didn't even fucking hit Randy Jackson or Mark Jackson. Which Jackson brother was on the stupid glass?
I think you're right. I think it was Randy Jackson. It's a no for me, dog.
It was Randy. He
was
going to
hit Randy Jackson. It's a no for me, and Darby went. Randy Jackson was asking for it. I know he was the bassist in Journey, and he said it's a no for me, dog. And Darby's like, I hate Journey, and don't say no to me, and I'm not your dog. And he handled business the way he knows how.
Look at that. Drew Yari is logging on. We're gonna get the live man on the street vibe. He's finally.
Yeah, let's bring him in.
Let's bring him in, ladies and gentlemen, from the Drew Yari Show, another podcast.
Drew Yari Experience.
Drew Yari Experience. Sorry, the Drew Yari Experience. Welcome to Unpopular Review, Drew.
We can't hear you, but we can see your sexy pose as you're lying there, like you're in Ingobernables de San Antonio. Still can't hear you.
Hey there.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. All right,
There's a
very
little
good.
bit of a lag, but we heard you.
Hello.
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Where are you on the International Space Station?
Can anyone hear me at all? I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
See.
We can hear you.
No.
Well, this is great, everyone. Thank you, Drew. The Drew Yari Experience. You just got a touch of the Drew Yari Experience right there, everyone.
Drew,
you don't want to miss that part of the Wrestling Soup
Let's
Network.
try it one more time.
You can find wherever fine podcasts are. Oh, well.
There we go.
Yep. No count.
Hello.
Yep, I can hear you.
Hola.
Nope.
I'm not sure you've got your inputs and your outputs synchronized there.
No, I think the Wi-Fi is a little spotty.
Hello.
Can you hear us? not working out. Jeffrey's laughing. Thought it was funny.
He froze. That's right. He had
Sorry,
stage
Drew.
fright.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Apparently, he loved the show.
What's that?
He loved Raw. Drew was at Raw. He was up in the bleacher seats, the high seats, with women apparently.
Drew, were you with women? Can you hear us? No. I thought I'd give it a shot.
Drew, put the fist up like you're in Ingobernables.
Were you
Oh.
you in the audience?
Hi. Like he's only done like a podcast for like 6 or 7 years. I would think he knows how to use these things.
Let's just keep doing this for the rest of the night. We're gonna go till 3 a.m. until we figure out the time.
That's right. It's a marathon. Maybe I'll just call out sick tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like working very hard.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not working.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm usually the one with technical issues.
I know.
I hear him saying, "Yes, I was at Raw. I can hear you." Jeff is freezing. Listen, you're the only one who sees me freezing, so it must be your internet. There must be because Steve and I are interacting fine, and the chat is interacting fine.
Like Jeff says,
Jeffrey,
tell him to use the audio.
Well, he's still there, so he can read it. So yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
don't
know
you don't want
what's
to see
going
his
on.
sexiness?
Yeah, no, apparently not. Nobody.
Oh, we got a private chat message. I was at Raw and all I got was this lousy internet. You see him wearing his Cody Rhodes shirt. He's so proud of his shirt.
He is. He's very proud of it. All right, guys. Well, that was the Monday Night Raw review show.
Talking about an American nightmare. This last 5 minutes was my American nightmare.
It's been a lot worse. At least this wasn't like a live. What's it called?
Listen, like the famous Pee Wee Herman said, we meant to do this. We just wanted to give you a taste of Drew. But if you want to hear Drew, you've got to listen to him on the Drew Yari Experience. And if you pay for his Patreon, you can hear him even more. And he's got a YouTube channel where sometimes maybe you can even see him or some of the many fine co-hosts he has, including RJ, the Brooklyn Savage, and Brother Monty, and Ruben Prime, and Justin from Spinebuster Tees in San Antonio. And occasionally myself, who participates on the Garden of Droom and every now and then shows up on the regular show, but very rarely because everybody thinks I'm very busy and I'm really not. Jeff, not an American nightmare. It's a Guamese nightmare.
Indeed.
Should we try again with him? He's still waiting there.
Let's give it one last chance.
Let's give it one last chance.
Oh, there.
We see him
hand
whacking
is
off.
shaking.
That's great.
He's either.
Does he have the antlers on? Is he making an imaginary margarita?
I think he's having a stroke.
Shaken, not stirred. Can you hear us, Drew?
Can you hear me at all?
Yes.
We can
we
hear
just heard
you.
you yelling at us.
Why are you yelling at us?
You know what, Drew? Forget about our interaction. Just give us your Raw report. Just you take it from here. Yes, I know. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging
He
that.
just came on to give.
I hate this
Jason.
fucking laptop.
He's just on to give gang symbols.
No, he was acknowledging my big bamboo.
He was like,
Don't ask me how he knows
San Antonio in the house.
That's right. I sent Drew dick pics under Todd's account. I mean, Todd
Cero miedo.
sent dick pic. That's right. Cero miedo.
San Antonio.
So
Cero
Drew, if
miedo.
you can hear us, when we bring you back in, don't worry if you can hear us or not. Just give your Raw report. I will speak loudly and slowly because that's how things work. My grandmother's taught me that, and my mother continues to teach me that. Jeffrey Reimer, who doesn't even rhyme. All right, Drew, we're bringing you in. Just start talking.
Hello. Can
Raw
you
report.
hear me at all?
Tell me, can you hear me?
This is Drew. I'm here to tell WrestleMania
He is from the International Space Station.
For anyone tuning,
Oh. Oh my God, Jeff, I can't.
Yeah. Well, sorry that didn't work out, folks. I know you were looking forward to that, but that's exactly how. That's exactly what happened to J.D. McDonough in the third highlight of the show. The first two being Jackie Redmond segments.
Everybody is on the edge of their seats. They're like, "What did he have to say? What happened when Raw went off the air? No one knows. No one will ever know."
I know. I mean, he's in this industry. You think he'd be able to vamp and just take the cues, but he keeps typing that I'm freezing, but obviously I'm not freezing because you hear me and the audience is reacting to me.
Yeah.
So instead of like wagging your finger at me, Yari, just start talking. Like keep saying.
No, I don't think that's not going to help. We've tried it. Let's just wrap it up.
Your internet sucks. I don't know if you're down in one of those coyote tunnels where you're often hiding. Probably.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You all think I should get on? No, we're going to sleep. Yeah, we're wrapping this up.
It's night time.
It's night time.
Maybe next time.
So listen, I plugged all the Drew Yari stuff. So if you actually want to hear him, now you know how. And you can find him. He's at Drew Yari on Twitter. I'm not sure if that's actually it, but if you type it in, that'll get him. Sounded like dial-up. That's right. It's 1997, and he's on a fax machine. Do you know people in my profession still use fax machines to send like health medical reports and shit? All right. Anyway, if you want to find me on X, it's at IcarusFellMD. Steve already talked about Hammerlock Hangover, so all of you who are listening now and on the download should definitely check us out just to support us and subscribe. And do me a favor, subscribe also to Garden of Doom. You'll also get Garden Views, which is more esoteric, eclectic mythology, scary stuff. I got a show on the Celts coming up for St. Patrick's Day. Just released the show.
You should do a show on Drew Yari's Wi-Fi.
I should. That's
definitely scary.
Paranormal. Well, I've got plenty of paranormal experience shows on that with electronic difficulties. Manifesting. Just dropped a show with C the Superior from UPR's entertainment side on werewolves. So there you go. Yeah. Well, Jeffrey Reimer, just like Michael Cole and R-Truth, came right on time tonight.
That totally popped me.
Yeah, well, it's a night about popping early. So, Steve, where can people find you if you want to be found?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Where can people find me? You can find me here on the
Russian cosmonaut stabbing me with a wrench. That's a Phillips head. Ouch! Ouch! Comrade, no! Yet.
Just as he using hangers and foil.
You know what? I think that might work better. Actually, we have a big budget here at UPR. We gave him a Dixie cup and a twine of string, and we spliced it to both Steve's house and mine. So that might be the problem there.
Oh my God. Where can y'all find me?
Oh my goodness, he's back.
Coming back. Oh no, I'm scared to tap in.
His head looks gigantic. He looks like Modrak.
He looks like MODOK. What's going on, Drew?
Right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank fucking God.
Should we lie?
What God?
Like, no, we can't. Just to see him struggle some more.
All right, everyone. The Drew Yari experience. Everybody that's still with us or is still tuning in. Our special guest, Drew Yari. We've already sang his accolades. You at Raw tonight. Tell us. What hit? What missed?
What hit and missed? What missed was this fucking internet for like the past 10 minutes. Missed, I mean, whatever. You know what I mean. Hits. Cody, the Codester, as usual, got a big reaction. Everyone loves him. He's Captain America. He actually stayed after the show until everyone left to sign autographs and take pictures. Him and Seth both. So that was a hit.
Show us your ass. Did he autograph your ass?
Chelsea Green was there too. She was there for a main event taping. She actually got cheered. She had a main event match with Candice LeRae, and it's funny because there's a bit in the match where she tries to cheat, and Indy Hartwell like pushes her foot off the ropes to kind of like go, gotcha, and the fans are actually booing Indy Hartwell. And then when yeah, she's terrible. And then Candice won, and people actually, well, not Candice, Chelsea. Chelsea won, and people are cheering Chelsea. Whatchamacallit, Maxine came out for like a backstage segment, and I couldn't tell if people were booing her or chanting "shush," but I like to think they were booing her.
I like that.
How do you feel about Maxine Dupree getting booed?
I feel the same way as everybody else. At the end of the day, it's, I don't think anyone was like saying anything like, heinous or derogatory towards her. They're just booing her because it's wrestling. If we think someone sucks, we're gonna boo them. And this whole like thing with Rhea, who I would like to think she knows better, to say, I like to see you get booed at your job, for trying to get better. It's like, bitch, that does happen, Rhea. That happens. That's happened to me at countless jobs.
Yeah, we all get. I mean, you can Google it, and there's about 2,400 reviews about me, and some of them are boos. So you can take a look. I do have a question for you. When Nia was backing out from her segment and went up the ramp, there looked like there was an interaction with a fan where she took his hat and was banging him over the head with it and threw it into the crowd. Do you think that was a plant, or was that real? And if so, what events led up to it?
I don't think it was a plant. Because as far as I know, I don't think anyone got hurt. I just think it was just Nia maybe having fun with a fan. Maybe the fan was getting a little bit too touchy-feely. All I know is that I just literally looked up to the screen and I just saw Nia just like hitting someone with his hat and then throwing up. So, I mean,
did security come and escort the fan out, or was it just when it was done, it was done?
Well, once it was done, because I don't think the fan. I think the fan looked like he was having fun. He was like, "Oh shit, Nia's hitting me."
Okay.
So
I wasn't sure
whatever.
it might be someone that she knew, because she was hitting him with the hat, but it was very light. It's like how you hit like your 3-year-old.
Right.
It was like very tappy. So, but then she threw the hat into the crowd where he's unlikely to get it, but he was bald, so he didn't have hat head. So I don't
right.
know. I guess I'm sure there'll be more to come, because everything that happens in wrestling is a big controversy for at least 18 hours. So I'm sure that by tomorrow next we'll be flooded with information about that. Were you able to see the Jackie Redmond interviews?
Yeah, I mean, because they showed on the Titantron pretty much every interview she did throughout the whole night with like Drew and.
How do you handle those when you were there with your wife and her sister?
I mean, I handled it. I'm not sure what the question implies, but
what did you handle exactly?
I mean, I know what Betty was handling when Drew McIntyre came out. That's all I know.
Okay, well, listen, fair is fair then. The Drew is a sexy man, so.
Wow.
I am.
No, the other Drew.
Did you see anybody handling themselves when Sami Zayn came
He just
out?
winked at me. No, I mean the big, tall, muscular Drew.
I mean, I don't want to see anyone handling themselves if Sami Zayn comes out. If you do, God bless you.
That's
what
right.
if Michael
Everyone has
Cole
their
was
type?
wearing antlers at the time?
That was funny. That was funny. The whole crowd got a big pop out of that.
From where you were sitting, did you think that Valhalla was defecating on the announce table?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. She's a country girl. She's a backwoods, type of chick. So teach his own. I heard Ruby Wright was actually there.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I have a friend of mine that actually works at the arena, and he just mentioned Ruby Wright was there. I'm like, I guess she's visiting friends.
First, I'm calling bullshit on the friend thing.
Oh, quiet.
Hey, maybe she was supposed to go on a date with that one jabron from AEW.
Angelo Parker, Cool Hand. So maybe that was the date. Maybe he took her to Raw.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. I mean, they did mention Sting during the broadcast, so cool.
Yeah, and JR and Taz.
Mm-hmm.
But not
and
AEW.
CMLL, which right now is a big partnership with AEW and CMLL, or at least the CMLL wrestlers that aren't deported.
Yeah, I mean, new era. Triple H is like, yeah, let's talk about wrestling in general. With Vince, it's like, no, we're the only company. But now Vince is gone. So
it's Russo?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Stank.
Steve, you're so disrespectful.
Listen, I'm glad it's over.
The
Sting career is finally done. Wrap it up, Sting.
Both of Ruby's girls were there from the Riot Squad. Liv was there and Valhalla was there. So that's her former crew.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
All right. So that's great. You have any thoughts on the Hall of Fame? Who do you think should induct Paul E. dangerously?
I mean, Punk. Punk seems like the obvious choice. It's kind of weird because when you saw the introduction video, they were very careful not to include Brock.
Oh yeah,
which I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Unless there's something we don't know, like what Brock did, I think was more morally wrong and like not legally wrong. So I don't know. I don't know why they're like persona non grata with Brock.
I think it's temporary. I mean, if Hulk Hogan could get back in, I just think they're waiting for it to blow over. But I don't even know how morally wrong it is. I mean, apparently, first of all, these are allegations, but secondly, it sounds like somebody said, "You want to see naked pictures?" He's like, "Yeah," and then he's like, "You want to get with my girl?" I'm like, "I don't know." And then he said, "I can't make it." So I mean, whatever. It's we'll more to come on that, but Punk seems like likely. But I mean, Steve Austin, he managed him in the Dangerous Alliance, so that's a big name, and that would be a big attraction for WrestleMania weekend. And of course, it could always be our tribal chief, who might, in turn, acknowledge the wise man.
Should be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
All right.
Of course.
Well,
it does.
anything else of news and notes? Because due to tech issues and due to Steve's advancing age, he needs to wrap it up. He's very, very sleepy.
I need my beauty sleep.
Yeah, I mean, Raw was a pretty good show tonight. It's always fun whenever I'm able to go. Like I mentioned,
you being there makes it fun, or the show was fun because you're there live.
I guess it's fun to be there live. I mean, because it's still fun watching it, but it's a lot more funner to be there in person.
It's fun.
It's still weird to watch. Yeah, funner. It's still weird to like see the wrestlers come out for matches and they go to commercial. You just see them like pacing back and forth in the ring, waiting for these commercials to end. Like when Andrade came out for his match, like he was waiting in the ring for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Until
on Andrade, did he get a big pop? Yes, it didn't sound like it.
He got a moderate pop. Like it was just people saying, "Oh, Andrade's back." Not like Cody or even Seth reaction. Trying to think of who else and like any other like matches. Oh yeah, Gunther and Dom they had a really good match. I wasn't expecting that match, but it happened and I was happy. And Dom, kind of showed his own that match.
It was and match of the night.
And Judgment Day got a big pop too.
Yeah, that was surprising. They sort of came out like faces at the end. That was the match of the night, not Gunther Dom.
Agreed.
They were both equally good matches.
Thank you. See, and he was there live. All right. Well, Drew, thanks for coming in and giving us the man on the street report. I'm glad your Wi-Fi finally worked.
That's right.
Yeah, it was a simple fix.
Good job. Well, thank you guys. And thank you all for tuning in and watching Unpopular Review. This has been the Raw Review show for March 4th, now March 5th, 2024. That's it. Jeff, any final words?
Stable, my friends.
Very good. Take care, everybody. You and these gang symbols.
Turn off. Turn off.
How do I
Cut it.
There we
Come
go.
on, done.
Bye.